All right. Okay. Now, because order matters, I think we'll have to first create the listings, the table, the pop-ups before we can go and build this page or this template that displays these things. So from our list down here, we need the following listings to create. Now let me check which ones we should start with. So tasks assigned to staff, overdue, all personal tasks, all upcoming tasks, assigned tasks, subtasks. We'll skip that, personal tasks due tomorrow. So we are going to build those that we need on this page. So today, tomorrow, all upcoming, overdue, and all tasks. So we're gonna start with that. Then we will build the table. The table is quick, and once that is done, we will create these two pop-ups. That is one and the other one here. Then we can now finish by creating this template. Then once that is done, we will proceed with the other step, that is creating templates for single task. So that sounds good, right? Yep, it does. Now let's go back to the listings. As I said, I have these things built up already. I will take you through and explain everything that I did so that you understand. So I will check, let me just check. I might not follow any specific order, but I will have to take you through. Now there is also something else which is very important. Some of these listings require us to create queries. Now, because we want to start with personal tasks due today, so we'll have to create that query first, which is here. So personal tasks due today. So let's do it. So head over to JetEngine, then select query builder from the list, and what you want to do next is hit add new query. So once you do that, for me, I already have this, so I will just open it up. Personal tasks due today, it's here. So once you hit add new query, you will have to give it a name, give it a descriptive name so that you don't forget or you don't get confused when you have a lot of queries later on. Then the query type, it's a posts type. That's straightforward. Then now, general settings here, you will have to select your specific post type or CPT from the list. In my case, it's individual tasks. Then you need to be specific with the post status, and for me, it's published. That's what I'm interested in. So that's the first part. That's done. Then next it's the meta query, and pay attention to this part because it's very important. So what we want to do, you have two options here. Number one, you can simply paste in the field key or the name of your meta from your CPT. So for us, it is the start date. Now let me just also let me go to our CPT. I hope you're following closely. And I also hope that the speed that I'm using here, it's okay. I'm not too fast, I'm not too slow. And if you feel I am too slow, then you have a choice to double the speed of the video. And if you feel I am too quick, you also have a choice to slow it down by reducing the speed. Okay, so we want the start date. That's what we are interested in here. So that is the start date. So we'll pick it from here. This is the field we need, or you can use this coin stack or database icon here to also get the field, to also get the meta field if you want to use this. But the easiest way is to paste in the field. So that is done. Then what are we comparing to? So it's equal to. Then now the value here, we will use the coin stack here. And what you want to do is, I think let me do this. Let me demonstrate with a new clause so that it's easier for you to understand. I will delete it later on. I just want to take you through what's happening here. So the value, so we've said compare it to its equal, then use this. Okay, then now what you want to do here, is select okay, so what you want to do here from this list is okay, let me remember, do we need to, are you supposed to install, are you supposed to add a snippet so that you can have this with you? I think I need to check, because you might miss this with you. I will check it and let you know in a moment, but let me just take you through. So what you need to do here, let me just delete that. And so what we want to do, remember I asked you to save this thing as a timestamp. This is where it comes in handy. So what you do here is this callback string to timestamp. So select that, and now what you want to do, it's you want to define things here that you want to use. So what is the string to convert, and whether you want to adjust it based on time zones or things like that. Now, is it really string to timestamp, or it's string to date or macros? Let me see, because we have several of these things here, and I think I just remembered this is a custom callback. You might not have it with you, so you will need to add some code snippet for you to have this thing on your side. So it should be string, format date to string, format date to string, format date to string. Let me see whether I have this thing here or not. Here it is, format date to string. I had picked a wrong one, so it's format date to string. I think there's a snippet I will show you that pulls this up, or I'm not sure whether it's available by default. I will look it up. So then you need to define the format, the date string, then show by. Yeah, this is a custom callback. You do not have it until you add the snippet that I will provide to you. So that is what you do. You select format date to string, then the format it's Unix timestamp, that's why we are using U here. Then the date string is today, or the current date today. Then for me, I am being very specific because I want it to be according to my time stamp. So what I did, I added the specific timestamp. You can use the server time, or you can use UTC +0, and you can also modify it. You can modify the code, the snippet, so that you include your specific time zone, and that's what will help you display these things correctly, so that tasks that start today will be listed exactly under today or the current date. I don't know whether you got that right. So I will explain once more. So the field, it's the start date from our CPT. The comparison here is equal to, then the value, we select the macro, which is format date string, format date string. Then what you do is you define these values. Format is U, Unix timestamp. Then the date string is today, current day. Then show by, you select your time zone from the list. You might be required to customize the snippet so that it works based on where you are or the time zone that you want to use. So that is what you do with that part. Then the last query, it's author, and the author of these should be the current user, because these are personal tasks that are due today. So when you are displaying it in the front end here, the posts that should be displayed here should be the posts for the current logged in user. I hope that's understood, and that's all about this query. So that's done. So once the query is done, make sure to save it, and you can now proceed to the listings. So what you do, you go to JetEngine, listings and components, and hit add new item. Once you add new item, what should I do? Let me explain it from here. I will not add it, but let me show you what you're supposed to do. So add new item like that. So the listing source should be posts. Okay, it should be posts. No, it should be, what do we call this? It should be a query builder, because we've just created a query. So the source for this, it should be a query, not posts, because we just created the query that we need to use. So the source should be query builder. Then now select your specific query from the list, the way you named it correctly. So which it's, for me, it's personal tasks due today. Then give it the name and decide how you want to build it. For me, it's Elementor. Then hit create listing item. So the source is query builder. Select your query, then give it a appropriate name and hit create the item. So we will head over to the item so that you can see how we've set it up. So I will just hit edit with Elementor and we can proceed from there. So I hope all this is clear. If you didn't catch anything or if you missed something, just hit the comments below and let me know what exactly it is that you did not get properly. So remember, the author ID here on your query builder, it's you select the macros and you select current user ID as I just explained. Okay, so this is our listing that we are working with, and the listing settings, again, listing source is query builder and the query is personal tasks due today. And this is just optional for previewing because I wanted something that is as close as possible to the cards that you can see here. Okay, so maybe I can create one personal task for today so that you can see it. Text, not text, it should be test task, test today, test today task. For tutorial, then urgency, let me give it low. Date, I will give it today. Due date, I will give it today. Due time, let me say it should be by 8 or 20:00 hours, like that. Then just say this is a test task, like that, and I will hit create. Task created successfully. Awesome. So now the reason I'm using 300 here, it's just to have this thing to be as close as possible to what I expect to have in the front end when I'm viewing it. So okay, I will just have to go back so that we can see what we have. So here you will design and create this thing based on how you want your thing to look like. So that is entirely up to you. I'll just take you through the things that we have. For now, let me just do away with these preview settings here, like that, so that we have bigger stuff to work with. And the first thing that I have, this is just a normal heading that I've written priority. Then I have dynamic terms as what I want to use for priority. Now what you do is go to the elements panel here on the left hand side, then hit dynamic, just search for dynamic, and what you want to do is select the dynamic terms widget and drop it in your editor. Then you want to, from which taxonomy you want to be specific which one you need. For me it's priority for personal tasks. Then terms to show, it's only one. Icon, decide how you want it to look like, and that's pretty much it about this. Now disable show all terms because we don't want to do that, and style it as you want, the icon, the labels, all this stuff the way you want to design it. Then once you've done with it, just duplicate it 2 times so that you can change the next one to it's also the same thing, priority. And what you want to also do is give it the specific design that you want for your for your thing, right? Just like we have them here. So this is how it looks like in the front end. So design it as you want it to look like. Then once that is done, you head over to the next one and repeat the same thing. It's still priority. So because we have 3, high, medium and low, that's why I have 3. If you have 2 or you have more than that, feel free to handle it in the same way. So design everything, the icon, the label, the text before, text after, you know, the way you want it to look like. So once that is done, there is something else that it's very important. Now let me start with the first one. So once you have it selected, this is for, I think, high priority. That should be for high priority. Go to advanced and go to dynamic visibility, because we have all these 3, but we want to show them only when it's appropriate. So you go to dynamic visibility, enable it, and visibility condition, we are going to use show element if condition is met. And which condition is it? The post has terms. Post has terms. And what terms do we want? High. And which taxonomy exactly are we looking at? It's the priority for personal tasks. So that's all you need to do for that. Post has terms. This is the slug of the term that you are interested in. So if the post has that specific term, then show this thing. Otherwise, hide it. Do the same for this one as well. So go to dynamic visibility and show element if condition is met, has terms, and the term should be low and the taxonomy should be this. Now in many cases you will always forget to set the correct taxonomy here if you are in a hurry, so always remember to select the correct taxonomy down here. Okay, so do that for those 3. Then the next field here, or the next section here, it's our dynamic field again, another dynamic field, and we just want the title of the task. That is what we put here. Then below here, so I just used a divider line. Then below here I also added other conditions, not conditions, but status. These are status, that is taxonomy. And what I did, I followed the same thing that we've done with priority. So you drop in dynamic terms widget, then from which taxonomy, it's status, and it's for individual tasks, that is the post type. Okay, then we just need one, disable show all terms. Also disable link terms. I always do that because I'm just showing these, I don't want people to click them, so disable that. If you want to use icons, feel free to add them. It depends with how you are designing your thing. Then style it as you want using the styling buttons, and go to the advanced tab. And as I said, go to dynamic visibility. I'm not paying much attention to the design aspect, that is upon you. So design your thing the way you want it to look like, or something that matches the brand that you are dealing with. So go to dynamic visibility, enable it, then show element if condition is met, just like we did. It's post has terms, And what is the term for that one? It's completed. And from which taxonomy? It's status. And this status, as you recall very well, these are the status for personal tasks. Okay, for personal tasks. That's why I told you, and I will emphasize on this. Always name your things in a clean way that you will always remember what stands for, so that you don't get confused when you get to this point. So that is done. Then duplicate it the number of times that you have all the status taxonomy terms, and do the same thing for all the remainings. Style them, then show them based on what they represent. If it's pending, if it's completed, if it's on hold, if it's cancelled, all that stuff. So that is done for this part. So we've done priority, we've done the title. This is just a divider line. Then this is also status, which is what we'll show here based on what that post is. Now the next two things, the first one here, this is a delete icon, and that is a dynamic link. What you need to do is drop in a dynamic link from the elements widget. Then source should be delete current post link. Delete current post link. I hope that is clear. Then you can write whatever you want to write here. That is what the user will see when they hit delete. Are you sure you want to delete this task? This action is irreversible. Then once you write that, now you also need to do something down here, redirect after delete. So what do you want to happen once somebody deletes a task from this point? For me, I wanted to redirect them to the same page, and that's what I used with this macro here. So it's redirect after delete. I used this macro, current page URL. That's all you want to do. Then decide how do you want to delete. Is it permanent or move to trash? For me, it's permanent. Then I used an icon, which is this bin icon, and that's pretty much it for that part. Style it as you please, and that's done. We don't need to do any dynamic visibility for that one because we don't need it. That should always be visible just like that. The last one here, this is also a dynamic link, and it's a permalink. So what happens here is when we click on this, it should redirect us to the single post of that task, and that's what you do. So if you want to use an arrow, if you want to add label, whichever way you want to deal with yours, that's all on you. Use an icon, that is that arrow, and that's all about that. This styling, it's entirely up to you. So it brings us here. That's the work of that button. Now the other thing that we have for our card styling is now this main container. So the main container, I think I have the background as white in my case here, or which one did I really use? Is it the main or the inner container? I think I used the inner container. Let me check. Yep, it's the inner container, which is white. So what I also did with the outside container, it's that I removed all the paddings for the parent container, and the parent container as well. It's what I used for the border. Really, no, I used the inner one. So I gave it a solid border of 111. I gave it my border color. I gave it my radius. I gave it some box shadow, Then on hover, I also gave it some blue color, maintained the radius and the width, so that when you hover over it like that, it doesn't skip, it doesn't make some movement or something like that. So that's done with that. And the same approach is what we will use for these other three, that is tomorrow, all upcoming, and overdue. It's the same. So you can save this as a template or whatever it is, or you can just copy it, then copy paste it 3 times for these other three stuff. But you will have to change things because we also need to create queries for these other stuff. So I hope that's clean and clear. I will just leave. I don't think I've changed anything. Just leave. There's nothing that I've changed here. So that is the first listing from our list of what we are supposed to do. So these are the listings. So personal tasks due today. So personal tasks due tomorrow is the next one. And as I have just said, these ones you need to copy the other one or save it as a template, then pass it over to these others. And I think I'm just going to show you, for the sake of time, I will just show you for tomorrow. But first, I think we need a query. So let's go to queries again and do that thing. And it's at this point that I also need to show you the snippet that we need for that custom callback that I just talked about. So let me just search here tomorrow. Tomorrow is like that. So personal tasks due tomorrow. So this is posts query. Let's just open it up so that I can take you through. It's similar to what we did. So give it a name, a unique name. The type is posts query. Then select the post, which is individual tasks or whatever you have on your side. Then the meta query, the same thing we did. We are looking for start date. Don't get confused, please. So it's still start date, because whatever we are listing here, these are tasks based on when they should start in terms of date. So tomorrow, it's a day after today. So it's the start date of a task, then should be equal to, again, go to macros and select format date string. This will only be available after you add the snippet and you do a little bit of modification if you want to use a different time zone. Then the format, it's U, which is Unix timestamp. Then date string is tomorrow. That is a day after today. Make sure you just write it as I did. Then sort by, I am using my custom time zone, and that's all you need for that part. Then we don't need anything else apart from the author, who is the current user ID, because these are personal tasks and we want somebody to only see the tasks that belong to them. So once that is done, you will have to also go to the listings and create another listing. Just as I said, I will go through the process one more time. So hit add new. Then what is the listing source? That should be query builder. Then select the query from the list. For my case here, it's personal tasks due tomorrow. Then give it a name and select how you want to design your listing. So once that is done, you will be redirected to your editor. Let me just open it up, take you through this. Then I will not show you the listing for all upcoming, but I will show you the query so that you see how it works. And for overdue, it's also similar to just these others, as I said. Then we will move to all tasks before we can proceed to the table and go to the next part, which is building this template that displays all this stuff. Okay, so that is done. Let me see which one is the next query that we should be building here. That is okay, all assign, not that, assign task priority, not that, all personal tasks. Yep, so all personal tasks listing, overdue personal tasks, then all upcoming personal tasks. Let me check the query that we need for that. So we need all upcoming personal tasks, then we need overdue personal tasks. So let me check all upcoming personal tasks query here so that you can see what is happening with that one. And that one is also straightforward. So let me just type all upcoming. Yep. And I will emphasize, always name your things systematically so that it's easier for you to work with, so that you don't start fumbling when you get to some of these things. So all upcoming personal tasks, let me just turn that off. So give it a descriptive name, then the type, it's post types, I mean post query, and the general settings here, we need to select our post type, which is individual tasks. Then the status is published, and I have added the order here because I want it to be ascending, that is from the lowest to the highest. That is the order that I need. And I am also very categorical when it comes to what do I want to order by, which is the start date, the start date, the start date. So before, I don't know, let me do this. Before we continue with this query, let us just finish up with personal tasks due tomorrow design.